such a great song. I imagine we're going to hear that one tonight at the House of Blues.
Yes.
The first of 2 nights with Reliant K. There are still some tickets available. I checked right before we started. So there's only a couple left for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think tonight sold out, and tomorrow has like...
I think there's like 20 left.
All right, so immediately, as soon as we're done here, go get your tickets. And all ages show, I think it starts at 6.
It's early.
It's early, which I'm so excited about. Sorry. It's the Looking for America tour, which, what exactly are you guys looking for besides reliable transportation?
Oh, well, you know.
What?
Too soon.
Sorry.
No, I think, you know, it feels like we got a song called Looking for America on our record, and it feels like a time where we are kind of self-defining ourselves as a nation. And, you know, I mean, that's the beauty of democracy. Who are we? Well, you vote, you choose. And I feel like the biggest thing for me is, you know, without getting political, I believe in people. I believe in the best in people, and you know, our country's been through worse things than this particular election, but at the same time, feels like we could all use a little bit of hope right now. So that's kind of what the tour is about.
How has it been going so far with Reliant K, meeting back up with those guys?
We love those guys. I have been reminded of how much I love Reliant K on this tour. They're one of my favorite bands, not just because I'm friends with them and I love them as people, but they have this irony where they are completely dead serious and kidding at the same time. Very earnest, heartfelt songs about life and living, and also kidding, you know, and that's really hard to pull off.
I would say I heard a rumor, but you actually tweeted it, so it's not like it's that much of a secret, that there's a secret show tomorrow?
I do these after shows a lot of times where if you got more songs left in you and you haven't done any Bob Dylan covers during your set, it's like, well, let's do another set somewhere else. So I think it's there might be one tonight, but definitely tomorrow night there's going to be some form of that.
And how would we find out about these things?
I think the one in Chicago is through another organization that I've never done with before, but check my Twitter feed and it knows more than I do.
At John Foreman.
Yeah, the internet. Apparently it's super smart. Yeah.
So how did you guys hook up with Colony House? Because they were just here in the Sound Lounge last week.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even mention that you did an after show with them, or they did one with you, or...
Yeah. No,
how did that even happen?
I think it's funny, on tour, you're friends with all these bands, and you rarely get a chance to hang out unless you're on tour or at a radio festival where you're like, hey, how are you doing? And so whenever your paths cross, you have a chance to hang out. And what do you do when you hang out? You usually play music, you know. I remember we had a really good time with a band called Nickel Creek here in Chicago, playing songs together. And, they're friends of ours, bluegrass band. And those are some of my favorite moments on tour where you're like, okay, we're in Chicago playing with a bluegrass band. This is beautiful.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they live like, at the time, like 20 minutes from us in San Diego. But it takes going to Chicago to actually hang out.
Right? Funny how that works.